Hey everybody, welcome to Pitch Us. My name is Tim. I'm joined with Jeff and Jeff today. Super excited to have you guys here. The goal of this podcast really is to help people present their businesses better. Less than 1% of people get funded, and I think that's terrible. And so we think by helping people present their businesses better, we can really increase those numbers. I'm the author of the Pitch Deck book and the executive director of Park City Angels. Jeff, why don't you introduce yourself? Jeff Erickson.
Jeff Erickson, yes. We've got two Jeffs, so Jeff squared today. But Jeff Erickson, I'm with a company called Forecaster. We help early stage startups create financial models that will help them prepare for their fundraising and make strategic decisions. I'm also an active angel investor and work with a lot of startups in the role of as a mentor and a startup advisor. So excited to have Jeff Bitton also on today. So we'll let you
All
take it
right.
away, Jeff.
All right, Jeff Bidden, why don't you please share your screen and then go ahead and pitch us?
I just a quick background on myself. My wife and I have 6 kids. I'm originally from Idaho. I did door-to-door sales to get through college. I sold pest control door-to-door in Southern California, and then I started up my own carpet cleaning company in Rexburg, Idaho, and ran that company for 13 years. And throughout that time, we ended up buying out 2 other cleaning and restoration companies, one in Fresno, California, and one in Houston, Texas. And so I currently live in Houston, Texas until officially tomorrow, and then we're moving up to Provo later this week. But yeah, so I having done door-to-door sales and then working in the cleaning and restoration industry, I was always frustrated every month that we got the bill for Google and Yelp and Home Advisor and Thumbtack and Angie's List and all of these other platforms that we use to market our companies. We knew that we needed to do it because we needed those customers to come in, but it was always a frustrating experience because I knew that I looked like everybody else on Google or Yelp. It's the only thing that really differentiates any of our companies is the number of reviews that we have or the quality of reviews. But even then, nowadays with reputation management companies, all these companies look almost the exact same. If you search for carpet cleaners near you or any other a number of services near you, you're going to see a whole lot of 4 and 5 star rated companies. Whether or not they're actually good, that's what you're getting nowadays because of the reputation management. And anyway, I just thought this isn't good for the consumers. They're seeing the list of companies that paid Google the most money or paid Yelp the most money up at the top, or that paid the most for SEO or paid. It's almost like we bribed our way up to the top of this list, and then customers, when they go onto that list, they kind of naturally think that the companies at the top of the list are the best companies. And for small business owners like myself that are really trying to compete in specific spaces, it's really tough to compete with the bigger companies that have a lot deeper pockets. And so I was trying to think of what the most effective advertising I'd ever done was, and I realized it has to be when I used to do door-to-door sales. I sold pest control door-to-door, and then I sold carpet cleaning services door-to-door. And if I had the chance to just have to talk to somebody for just a minute, I knew that my chances of landing a new customer go way up. And it's because people like to hire people that they know, like, and trust. And a lot of that comes from like metaverbal and nonverbal communication. And so anyway, I just thought, I wish that there was a platform or a way that I could come to life and pitch people and let them know who we are as human beings, what's unique and different about our company and our families, and see if it resonates with them and if it's something that they want to go forward with. So with that, we created a platform called Pitch 59 and started working on this about 3.5 years ago. And then just over the last couple of months, we've officially launched and partnered with RevRoad. And we've now got partnerships going with a bunch of different colleges and universities. And I'll kind of explain the premise of Pitch 59 here. But the general principle of Pitch 59 is that everybody gets what's called a pitch card. And on these pitch cards, you get 59 seconds to pitch yourself, your service, your company. That's why it's called Pitch 59, is because everybody gets 59 seconds to pitch. On these pitch cards, you have like real video reviews or testimonials. It's got all of your contact information. People can save your pitch card to their contacts. You can also put on like LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram profiles and that kind of stuff. You can put on additional information to your pitch card, pricing in hours, that kind of stuff. And then you can also add on photos or files or documents, anything else that you want to add on. But the whole idea of this pitch card is that it's a networkable tool that you can send out to everybody. And wherever you send this pitch card, it'll allow them to get to know you, your company, in 59 seconds. It'll have all the contact options, all the sharing options, so that they can just immediately share it on with other people. Excuse me. And so with Pitch 59, we've got a variety of different pitch cards. I'll show you a couple of unique things here. Because I can't share my phone screen, I'm not able to show you the app, but I'll kind of give you an idea of what it does here. So all the turquoise pitch cards are for business purposes. You can have a company pitch card or an individual pitch card, and depending on what you're trying to show off or what you're trying to pitch, one of those two pitch cards will work for almost all people in business. Whether you're a sales rep, a technician, a secretary, a company owner, a CEO, whatever your role is, the turquoise pitch cards are the right fit for you. The red pitch cards are called the resume pitch cards. These are for people that are looking for a job. So it's got their 59-second elevator pitch with their resume, and it's got video references instead of video reviews. It's also got a few other unique things that are specific to the people that are looking for a job. And we don't charge for the resume pitch cards. Those are totally free. The yellow pitch cards are called nonprofit pitch cards, and they're specifically built for churches, charities, and missionaries and other nonprofit organizations. And then the green pitch cards are called job pitch cards, and those are for employers that are trying to recruit or hire, and each job pitch card is an available job position. So just a couple of unique things. First of all, I'll take you into the job seeking route here. And these resume pitch cards, this is what we're partnering with BYU and UVU and Ensign College and BYU Idaho and BYU Hawaii have signed on. Actually, the BYU Pathways organization, we're in the process of getting started with them as well. And we've got USC also just signed up with us. But essentially, these resume pitch cards, we don't charge for these. These pitch cards are to help these people find their job. It's like a networking business card that they can use that has their 59-second elevator pitch, their resume, and all the other information that employers would like to have in order to see if they're going to be a good fit for that person. If you are looking for a job, you're also able to search for jobs with the green pitch cards. I'll show you those in just a second. But for anybody in business, if you come into this route here, it doesn't matter what kind of pitch card you get. There's a pitch card that's correct for you and your organization. So that we've got company and individual pitch cards, job and nonprofit. We have another pitch card coming out soon that's called a product pitch card. The reason that we're coming out with this one is we had a dealership in Utah, actually Shamrock Auto. They asked if they could get a pitch card for each of their cars. And so we're in the process of creating this product, but it'll be a great pitch card for like home listings and for like animals, people that are trying to sell animals or other specific products. You can pitch a specific product and then have this networkable card to share it out on and for everybody to get to know it. We have other types of pitch cards that are coming out in the future as well. So with that, I'll show you the pricing here. We don't charge at all for the resume pitch cards. Those are totally free. And then all other pitch cards are just $15 a month. It doesn't matter what kind of pitch card you get. It's $15 a month. If you get 10 or more when you're ordering pitch cards, then I'll show you right here. If you get 10 or more pitch cards, then it drops the price down to $10 per month per pitch card. So we have a lot of realtors, especially, that are signing up right now, and realtors in specific, like there's a lot of reasons and ways that you could use 2 or 3 pitch cards. And so we have a lot of realtors that each own 2 or 3 pitch cards, and they can pitch different audiences, or they can pitch specific home listings or whatever they want there. So anyway, with that, let me just kind of give you an idea of a couple of these pitch cards and how they work here. So this one here is the McNeil and Payne talent pitch card, where she comes to life and pitches who they are and what they do. And then I can just take that pitch card and I can share that pitch card. So if you have your phones there, you can open up your camera and just scan that QR code, and that pitch card will pop up right up on your phone, and you can then contact it, share it, add it to your contacts. You can do whatever you want there. I can just copy it here, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you share it with other people on a desktop. It'll just pop up her pitch card like this. It does the exact same thing on a mobile phone. And so it doesn't matter if other people have the app or not, or if they've even heard of Pitch 59. This pitch card is completely networkable and shareable. I can also share it on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or any other platform. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's kind of the basic premise of Pitch 59, is that we've got the business pitch cards here that you can find different services. We've got job pitch cards here where we've got a lot of different companies that are putting their job positions on here. Tanner Accounting is one of the companies that's just signed up recently. and they're able to share out these job positions. And then when people want to apply to those jobs, it's a very quick and easy process for them to apply. We also have resume pitch cards, and this is really, really awesome for employers. If you're looking for a specific type of candidate, you can just go through here and get to know all these people. And like I mentioned before, a lot of these universities, they're actually starting to require their students to create resume pitch cards here so that they can have better options and better opportunities to get a job. And then we also have a nonprofit that we're building out right now. So with that, I'll go ahead and stop sharing here and answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, great. Yeah, some of the things, what kind of traction do you guys have at this point, and what's the revenue look like?
Yeah, so we just barely started. We barely opened up our paying services. So before we had done some beta stuff to get people on. Last month we had about 100 people sign up and create pitch cards, and I think our revenue last month was 1,700. Is all. So we're just getting off the ground right now. We really hope to make that exponential over the next few months here, but we're working with the Corpus Christi Association of Realtors right now. They've got 2,500 realtors, and they want to be an affiliate with us. We're also working with the Florida Association of Realtors, which has 200,000 realtors in that organization, and we've got to get our affiliate program built out before we can really start to partner up there. But we're just barely, like, we're just brand new. So that's our financial model. That it's just $15 per pitch card, or $10 per pitch card if you get more than 10.
Okay, great. And any customer acquisition strategies other than realty agencies, or?
Yeah, Teva Pharmaceuticals is just, in fact, they're signing a contract with us either this month or this week or next week. But they're getting 100 pitch cards for their different job positions, and then they have like 1,000 job positions available worldwide. And so they're doing a 6-month trial period with this, and then once if we can prove that this works for them, then they'll go ahead and onboard all of their offices. And so we've got pitch cards for every use case and every scenario, but we're really focused on like the real estate industry for the turquoise pitch cards, because it's such a good way to differentiate yourself from your competition.
Okay, interesting. And have you guys raised any money, or have you guys kind of bootstrapped everything to this point?
Well, we've just raised money from friends and family. I mean, I've had to do this myself for the last 3.5 years, and so I've raised just over $1 million from friends and family. We have 55 different people that have put in money on Pitch 59, and mostly just I'm from a big family, and so they've all put in their 10 or 20,000. And then I've got several friends that have put in a little bit bigger money, but it's all been friends and family. Right now, we're trying to raise 250,000 from angels, just to get us to the next stage where we'll be ready to raise a seed round.
Okay.
And then we're hoping to do most of this ourselves. We don't want to be one of those companies that raises like a Series F and Z and whatever. We want to try and do this for the most part on our own, but it's expensive to get a software company off the ground, and so we know that we have to raise a little bit more money.
Gotcha.
What?
I think
you're on mute, Tim.
What's the 250 going towards?
Just towards growth. Now it's all going to go towards sales and being able to attend conferences and conventions and that kind of stuff. We've gotten some really good traction from some of these organizations, just from people talking about it, and we've also got some more development that we've got to do in order to make it more stable. There's still bugs and kinks with the system, and we've got to fix those. We're also trying to improve the video platform on Pitch 59 so that it's a lot more comfortable for people to do their pitches right there on the platform. So we've got I didn't show you this, but we've got a cool built-in video platform where it's got like a built-in teleprompter, pitch topics, pitch tips, and that kind of stuff to help people do their pitch. But we're going to build in a system where people can choose like what questions they want to answer, and then write out their questions right there on the teleprompter, and then just be able to record one question at a time so that it's not overwhelming and daunting for them to get a 59-second pitch. So anyway, we're in the process of doing that, but all of this stuff just takes time and money, and so we're trying to survive.
Awesome. Well, sweet. Well, thank you so much for that. Super interesting. We'd love to give you some feedback. I know obviously this wasn't a traditional pitch that we normally see. Usually people have a
Yeah.
deck, but to be honest, you're not unique in this. We've seen people do this, when they pitch. So first of all, great job of using what you have.
Oh,
And hopefully some of the feedback we can give you guys as you go out and raise this 250 can help in this process. Um, so with that being said, Jeff, why don't you what did you really enjoy about the presentation? And
Sure.
we'll start there.
Yeah. So first off, Jeff, I mean, you're super personable, and obviously you know the product, and you've done a great job. And the website looked great. I think the product looked like it's in. I mean, you obviously got customers using it now. Congratulations on the launch.
thank you.
I thought that was really impressive on how you've bootstrapped this with raising $1 million from friends and family to get it to this point. So kudos.
Thank you.
I With that said, I think it is challenging sometimes not having a full pitch deck because there were some things missing, and
Yeah.
we can kind of go over some of that in terms of I've still got a bunch of questions, but it was a great conversation, easy to talk to you, and you present very well. I don't have any question that you'll knock it out of the park as you start to meet with investors.
Oh, thank you very much. I should so this is a great reminder that I need to update our pitch deck. We do have one. It's just been focused on more on the jobs and the resume side, and where we've pivoted a little bit because of the interest from the real estate firms and everything. It just doesn't present a full picture, and so I will get that updated and get that over to you guys. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with that, your background's super impressive. I mean, running companies for that many years, doing the sales, it came out very clear in the presentation.
Thanks.
I think obviously the CEO is the number one salesperson in the
Yeah.
company, and I wouldn't struggle with you being able to sell this thing. I think from one of the things that I would have loved to have seen, and we'll start getting into like that feedback, is this. It really did seem like you're kind of like shotgun approaching this, and then it wasn't until the very very end that you were focusing really on real estate and recruiting. So I'll actually start with feedback. Normally I make Jeff do it, but I think one of the things that could have been really helpful, and as you guys go out and create this other pitch, is to start with where you were. It would be nice to, because you have all these contracts with BYU and whoever, and that's great. But I think that if you can say, look, we started in this platform, it was really hard to sell or whatever the thing was, but we found success here, and then start talking about more the real estate market or maybe the product market. When I was hearing that, I was like, man, cars make so much
Yeah.
sense. But be careful with that because you can start to muddle the story.
Yeah.
One way to address that is to be hyper focused on an industry and then come back later and say, here are the verticals we're going after. Obviously, that's in a much more crafted presentation. On your website, it's a completely different story. But like in the pitch, it would be like, yes, we're going after real estate people. Here's the reason why. But we're also getting interest. Going back to what we were doing previously is that, jobs are still a market, but now we have this new product thing because this car person wants to do it. But add that way towards the end as opportunities for growth could be helpful. And obviously there's some things missing, but it was clear that we got your revenue model. I would love to see the traction as far as growth is concerned as you guys do that, and I'm sure you have that in the regular deck. And don't downplay sales. $1,700 is a real, even though it's only been alive for 2 months.
Yeah.
That actually happens a lot. People are like, "Oh, we've only got $10." It's like, no, you have $10. You have a place to grow from.
Yeah.
So 100 signups at $1,700. That's awesome for being in business for 2 months. And as obviously you go out, you'll have better numbers. But dude, that's great. That's really great, especially since the pivot, right?
Yeah.
So don't downplay that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we were totally focused on getting the resume pitch cards out there because we knew that we want Pitch 59 to be a big party where a lot of people are at. And so we thought, well, resume pitch card is probably the easiest path to traction because we can get all these universities that are just having all their students get on. But then as we did that, we realized that it could take a while before the employment side of that really catches up and starts making it financially feasible to do that. And so with all these realtors that were interested in getting pitch cards, we decided, you know what, let's focus on selling to realtors. we'll still get the partnerships going and still kind of get that stuff going. But let's focus on the real estate industry right now because it's low hanging fruit right now. But I think,
And I think that's important on the deck side, right? Because then you can say, look how many realtors there are, how blah, 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 blah. Super clean story
Yeah.
that way.
yeah, our goal, if we can get 10% of realtors on Pitch 59, then our platform will be worth a lot of money. So
I agree. And one thing to keep in mind, you raised $1 million. I in this case, I'd actually like to know where that money went. Because for being honest, it's not that complicated of technology. But so we got to know a little bit like, what did you spend the $1 million on? What are the things that you accomplished so far? Because it doesn't, from an outsider looking in, it doesn't look that technologically like crazy. There's no AI happening that we know of. So it would be nice to know like what you guys have accomplished so far.
Yeah.
And then obviously this 250, we would love to know what you're trying to accomplish there with that.
yeah,
Yeah,
as
and
far as $1 million back. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll just say, I think this is actually a really good example for those that are listening in of the power of a pitch deck and why it's important to have one. Because there are some missing elements here that I think are really critical that you could hit in. And one of those Tim just brought up was I want to see a timeline of what you've accomplished and what you're going to accomplish. All right. And that's going to give me a picture of where you've been and where you're going. And I mean, again, it helps me as an investor feel more confident in, okay, this is who I'm investing in. Another piece that was missing is we didn't get to know your team. You know, is it just you? Are you a solo founder? For all we know, you're the only one out there. You're like, you know, I don't know if you've got other folks on your team that are doing this. Your pitch deck gives you an opportunity to kind of give a quick shout out to, here's the team members we built. Maybe we've got some great advisors or others that are kind of behind us. Again, it's all about creating that confidence for, you know, this is the team that's going to accomplish what we're laying out here in terms of the future. So again, it's really a great example of how powerful and why you want to use a good pitch deck, and why it's laid out the way it is in a lot of cases. And I know Tim goes through that in his book quite in detail.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we'll be honest, we talked off air a little bit about this. So, Jeff, overall, you know, let's get to the final thing. Jeff, do you have any other feedback?
So, yeah, I think there were, again, it goes back to the pitch deck. We didn't get a chance to see kind of what's the market opportunity here? Who are your competitors and what are you going up against? So again, those are questions I think that have to be addressed and that we want to know as investors. So again, I just keep going back to follow that pitch deck because it's going to help you answer the questions that we need to know. And then on that final, you know, the final element is, you know, we kind of, as we started going through the Q&A, it's like, oh yeah, and we're raising $250,000. Typically you'd end with that slide saying, okay, this is what we need. We've got an ask of 250. This is what it's going to be used for. And this is where it's going to get us. And, you know, we're the team that's going to make this happen when you guys give us some money to, you know, jump in and do it.
Yeah. Well, sweet. So now it comes down to the time of the show. Basically, what we do is we say, based off of what we heard, not what we know, would we move you on to due diligence? And since I've been going first, I'll go first. And right now, I would say I'm on the fence. I really would love to see the rest of the details. I think one of the things that was not connected to me was that you went down this path of like Google and like you could compete against Google, but then like the solution didn't really align to like how does someone compete against Google in a way. So I think if given the opportunity with a deck and those kinds of things, I think it would have helped streamline the conversation. And I would actually love to see it. Honestly, I think that you sound like a very legit business person. This isn't your first rodeo, which is really exciting. And you guys have brought a pretty cool product to market so far. And so I think I would love to see what you do next. But today, I would not move you to due diligence because there's just a lot of things that are missing.
Yep, and I'm kind of in a similar boat. I think you piqued interest with the
Mm-hmm.
presentation. It's like, oh, this is super cool. There wasn't enough to say, we've got the traction. I like the fact that it's built out and you've got a working product that is out there, and you have seen some paying customers, so that's great. I just wanted to see the path a little bit more in terms of what's the opportunity here. I didn't get that, and I probably would have passed because of that. And so again, it goes back to getting all of the information in the presentation that will paint that picture,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And if you guys are out there looking for help with pitch decks or with finances, please reach out. We'd love to help you. Our goal really is to see an increase in funding. And so thank you again. And thanks, Jeff, for presenting.
Yeah,
And then we'll
Jeff,
see
great
you all
job.
next time.
Thank you.